Boutique and Christy for the opportunity to share my fearless story. Hi, I'm Tegan Matthews from facingfears.com.au. I'm an author, a speaker, coach, mentor and podcaster. I also own a digital marketing agency and travel the world permanently with my lovely fiance. Last week we were in Singapore, the month before that we were in Vietnam, and we spent summer in France, and now we're home in Australia to spend Christmas with our family. But life wasn't always like this. I was an unwanted child who was adopted into a psychopathic family. From about the age of 5 or 6, I was subjected to all types of abuse, physical, verbal, emotional, sexual. I was quiet, I was reserved, I was anorexic, I was nervous, and I was constantly hiding. I was hiding from the abusive parents, I was hiding the bruises from the public, and I was hiding the real me. I eventually escaped from that place and was placed into foster care, the foster care system, and after 2 years of that, I decided that I could do a better job myself, and I did. There were times when I was homeless, there were on the streets, there was times I went hungry, there were times when I was suicidal, but I did make it through somehow. I started my first business at 16 to support myself, to put myself through school. I started my second business at 18, and I've had several businesses since then. In my late 20s, from the outside, I looked like I had it all together. I had a multi-six-figure business, I had the sports car, the nice house, the gorgeous clothes, but inside I felt worthless, I felt damaged, I felt broken. I was full of fears. I was afraid of being alone, so I put up with people that I didn't even like. I was afraid of not being liked, so I was a people pleaser. I was afraid of upsetting people, so I was a people pleaser. I was afraid of failing. I was afraid of succeeding. I was afraid of getting close to anyone, to be vulnerable, so I pushed anyone nice away from me. I was afraid of sharing my story for the fear of the judgment. I was afraid of being vulnerable. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on therapy and personal development. I learnt from some of the best, Louise Hay, Tony Robbins, and lots of others too. But the one thing that made the biggest difference for me was when I picked up Rhonda Britton's book, Fearless Living, at an airport in Sydney. By the time I landed in LA, I knew I'd found my answer. 6 months later, I moved to the US to study, and I became a Fearless Living coach. That was 12 years ago now. Since then, I've been blessed to be able to support so many women to face their fears and to discover life on the other side of fear, that life of freedom. I've continued my studies with various teachers such as Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dwyer and Brené Brown, and I've created my own programs to support women in facing their fears in life, love, fitness and business. This year, I wrote and published my first book, Facing Fears, and it's called Facing Fears, Finding the Courage to Reveal the Real You. It's a combination of my personal story and specific exercises that you can do to face your own fears. I wrote it in the hope of inspiring other women who've been through similar experiences to find the courage to remove their mask and to let the world see their true selves. In July, I also launched the Fearless Females podcast to create a platform where other women can share their courageous stories without the guilt, shame or fear. I want women to be proud of who they are, be proud of where they've come from and be proud of their story. And the podcast enables me to do that. I love it. It's amazing. The advice I have for others who may be full of fear or maybe being held back by fear would be to draw that line in the sand and decide that from this moment forward, fear is no longer going to control you or the decisions you make. Make a commitment to learn about how fear works, because through knowledge and awareness comes personal power and the ability to make better choices for yourself. I want you to know that you are worth more than where you are right now, that you deserve to live a happy and free life, that you were put on this earth to do a job, and that job is to be you, the unique you. And if you don't know who that is, then go out and find out who that is. Try different things and discover, what you like, what you don't like, what makes your heart sing. The other thing I recommend you do is surround yourself with other fearless females so that they can help you to become fearless. They can be there for you when you need that support. You can't be fearless alone. No one can be fearless alone, and you don't have to be. If you don't have those sorts of friends, then go join a Facebook group or a meetup, or listen to inspirational podcasts or videos, or read a book. There's so much out there to support you. These are all the things that I do to keep myself motivated. If I hear the fear monkey, sitting on my shoulder, trying to fill my head with negative thoughts and lies, I jump into a group, or I contact a friend, or I go for a walk, listen to something positive, watch a video, meditate. I can never usually meditate for too long. Spend time with nature. I keep doing these things over and over again until I'm in that space that's the real me. I also have a mantra that I live by that I repeat several times a day. I've put a shorter version onto my bookmark for those that get the book, and it goes like this. It says, I am smart, I am strong, I am successful, I am financially wealthy, I am fit and healthy, I am worthy, I am beautiful, I am loved, and I am loving. I am a fearless female. I've also made a commitment to myself to remove the mask and to constantly be facing my fears, so that I'm always stretching myself, stretching my comfort zone, because that's where I learn the most and I grow the most. That's where I feel alive. Is it scary? Yes. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Life will always be filled with fears, so I just choose not to let those fears control my life, and I hope you will too. That's it from me. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you and your family have a very Merry Christmas. And please feel free to join me at facingfears.com.au, and let's make 2017 the year to live fearlessly. Bye for now.